It's March, which obviously means it's time to go over what happened in the past year, because that's how that works. Look, this is my fault, but that's okay. No webcam for now. But we'll see. There's reasons partially that are not my fault that this is late. Then there are reasons that are partially my fault. But let's get into it. I'm hoping to not take too long. And the presentation should be available in the description on YouTube and viewable, which will have speaker notes inside, perhaps URL links as well for extra information. But this is the plan. You can read or not. You're gonna be seeing it anyway. So let's move on. Takeaways from memory, harder to do than last year because we're pretty late in the game. But a lot of things, continuations of previous year, and year before. Woodcarve Wednesday, Pad Sap, etc. Some new things, got more gifted game keys. That's been exciting. Not my first ones. That was probably the year before 2024 with Star Puffs and such. But this year we got a couple more. And lots of demos this year. Some new additions to dolls and things as well. More consistent YouTube uploads. That's correct. That's not a lie. We'll get into that more later, perhaps. Mainly gaming, still, of course. I did, usually, I think, have a plan going into the stream more often than previous year and year before that. But also still less collabing with people. That's probably still a downside. It would be fun to do more things, but it's tough to make it happen. What can I say? This was a big thing, though. A big screen background change. Because I just took the image. This was a big loss in the year that took a bunch of time, which was Twitch changed their policy so you can only have 100 hours of highlights on your channel, because VODs self-delete after like 14 days or something. So the way that myself and many other people on the platform preserved their VODs was to highlight all of their VODs. Obviously, that's a problem once this was announced to be implemented, because 100 hours is nothing. I had like 3,000 hours of highlights to attempt to preserve. And that took a lot of time to do. The VOD channel being available already going into it did save me some of it, but I still had to do a lot. And then another big effort of that was one of the main reasons to highlight all of the VODs and historically is twofold. One, to have a second backup of sorts, a second location. If you know anything about data backups, you want more than one spot. So it was the VOD channel and Twitch. Now it's basically just YouTube, which is a bummer. But the other important thing lost by getting rid of the highlights is no chat history. You don't get the chat on YouTube. So I have downloaded, or I did download during the process of everything, the chatlog.json files. So at some point, potentially in the future, I know there's other creators that already do this, you can sync up the JSON chat stuff with the YouTube VOD uploads and whatnot, so that you can watch it as if you have chat. Now, there is a big spreadsheet that I had for tracking this. You can see it in the presentation if you wish. The URL is there. But I'm also making a not so subtle nod that if anyone else wanted to download all of the VODs on the VOD channel for a second backup, that would be neat. And make me less anxious about it all getting deleted and gone someday when YouTube randomly decides to, with its new AI fucking support, to say that, oh, this guy's actually a bad guy. We're removing their channel for no reason. So that hopefully does not happen. But yeah, not so subtle nod for that. And also, I guess if someone did want the JSON files, I probably would be willing to share them with you. Moving on. One of the great things that I do, self compliment, rare, is the stream summary images on Twitter/YouTube community post /Blue Sky. And this does make the process of thinking about what I did this year a lot easier. So I am glad that I've continued to do it. We're going to go through them real quick. Just click them. I'm not going to even say all the games. They're just here. They're just here. You can see them. Lots of things. You see the Woodcarve Wednesday. You see a lot of the. You're going to see a lot of Puck. You're going to still see Sap, of course. Pat on the Corner. Tetris is now and then. Some Endless Ocean now and then. A lot of little demos. Some NSO when there's new things put on. Some game trials. Pixel Cross Adventure was a big one. That was an actual full game we played through. More demos and the such. Yeah, we're going through more demos and the such. More Pixel Cross. All of this stuff. Puck's still there. Monument Valley. That was a very fun game. I think Epic Games Store gave the second one for free, so I might be able to do a little sequel of that, which would be fun. Also, Sling a Thing, full game. Dev gave me the key. Peak enters the fray, as well as Advance Wars. Both, you know, I was doing solo runs and then eventually group runs, but then also full playthrough of the first game of Advance Wars. That was a big thing this year. And as you can see, it's stuck around along with Peak. Wartime Wednesdays, if you know, you know. That's right. Exactly. Some random stuff like Egg. That was a full game, but it was, you know, a goofy game. And yeah, more of what I said. And then ending the year, of course, with the New Year's Eve 5,000. Can you imagine? That'd be like a week-long stream. And there you go. That was the stream summary for the week. Now this is the Twitch recap. You can read the words. Going to go through these pretty quick. I guess I would mention things like 2024's numbers was 847 and 218 streams, so that kind of maths out. A little bit less streams, a little bit less hours. I think most of that comes from doing less secret streams in the past year compared to years previous. Less NSO game trials that required secret streams to beat, I think maybe is also part of that. So obviously this stuff is going to be a little bit less too in terms of days streamed. Days streamed 203, where in 2024 was 213 days. Hours watched though. Hours watched in 2024 was 3,184. So despite less days, more hours watched. This doesn't matter. This also doesn't really matter, but you can see the number down here. Slightly less chatting this year compared to last year. You guys got to up your game. What the heck is that all about? Last year, in comparison to this image, the order was just chatting, pad, sap, games and demos, and makers and crafting. We got to skip Babu Yetu. It's too good of a song, so they DMCA you, because that's, you know, top tags, whatever. Top channel emotes, slightly different than previous. 2024, it was surprisingly Pert Derp number 1, Purtle Look number 2, Purtle Stretch number 3, Purtle Old 55 times at number 4, and Purtle Talk 52 at number 5. So I guess these numbers are all higher than those numbers. Although Pert Derp was 166, but you know, whatever. And then I even had the 2023 numbers. Purtle Stretch, Purtle Look, Purtle Old, Purtle S, Purtle Hey. So, I don't know. I also don't know how they count these, if they count them only when used in your channel or if used across the site via being subscribed. I have no idea. More hype trains this year. There were 2 hype trains in 2024. I don't know if they changed the parameters to make hype trains easier or what, but either way. 250k points last year, 3,280 points in 2023. Nothing too exciting. Hype happenings. These numbers are whatever, I guess. I assume this excludes those that were gifted subs before. I don't know how these numbers work. I mean, this one is obvious, but the new subscribers, I don't know if that counts someone that's been gifted before, or if someone continues and then stops and then starts again, but whatever. The numbers in 2024 were higher at 81 and 72, which is why I'm like, interesting. This is more community-wide stuff here. Raids received the same number as 2024, which is kind of wild. I sent more raids in 2024 at 26, raiding different people more often. People who raided me last in 2024 were Ramen, Cody, and Gingy. I raided Ramen, Vine Sauce, and Caleb in 2024. As you can see, I changed that this year. Still not really raiding much. Usually people kind of filter out on their own. But I've been trying to up that up. I don't know. Biggest fans, mostly the same, though I would say that Microwavy was not in the 2024, along with some other names that were there last in the previous time. I keep wanting to say last year, meaning 2024, but I then correct myself to say 2025 and then anyway, it doesn't matter. Knights of the Round Table. 57 clips in 2024 with 3 unique clippers. So less clips than last year, but the secret here is that like probably 85 to 95% of these clips were me when I was doing the preservation of Twitch highlights, because I was using, I'm not gonna go through how I was doing it, but I was using things to then find moments to then look in the VOD to maybe make a clip of based on uptimes and things like that. So that's almost all probably me. But whatever. Top viewed feature clip, we're not gonna watch it right now. I don't even remember what it is. We'll probably watch it after the presentation ends. But it will be in the presentation if you want to watch it yourself. And I'm not going to read all of the numbers for 2024 and 2023, but, you know, here are these ones. Again, they'll be in the notes if you want to look at them yourself. Let's go to Steam. I will touch some of these numbers. In 2024, it was 30 games with 26 new, plus 68 demos. So a lot more demos this year. And playtest. I didn't have many playtests previously. It was 20 games with 22 achievements. I don't know if it was rare achievements, but in 2024. 70% KBM, 30% controller in 2024. And then it was SAP, Street Fighter 6, VR chat. Obviously, those are mostly the same, but Puck instead of Street Fighter 6. Longest streak in 2024 was 18 days, so longer streaks. But otherwise, I didn't even bother these numbers or whatever. The percentage here was different than previous. Apparently, I forgot, or maybe I didn't have it. Maybe I didn't write it down. I think there was a lot more recent or new in the last time. Whatever. Oh no, you know what it is? It's because I have it right there. That's why I didn't write it down. Because I was going to write it down, and then I was like, well, but then you got this thing here to try to compare, and there is certainly that, but then there's 2D Fighter. Oh, that was because Street Fighter, because this is 2024. Cats as a category is crazy. Typing is interesting. Sports? I'm playing sports? What are you talking about? Also funny, I don't even own VR, but VR chat counts as that. The main thing that I guess is kind of interesting is recent versus classic is a very different number. I guess that means I'm still playing games that are old, and so maybe they've converted into classic or something. Either way. These are numbers. You can look at them. They're there. There's nothing too crazy here. VR chat is literally kind of what it says, to virtually keep in touch with friends once a month or so. Just or maybe every 2 weeks. Get on, say hi to a bunch of people, chit chat as a sports game is going on or something. Been doing the weekly sap, so there's no surprise there. Puck is probably the biggest new thing in the year compared to, it was a newer game, and I played a lot of it, though as you can see, I stopped. And it's not because it's a bad game, it's a great game. It's almost too good of a game. It's a game that you gotta, I feel like I didn't cross the threshold of really locking in some higher level skills to then be able to come back like you're riding a bike. Unlike my friend Dem. But I would recommend it. It's a very good game. Peak was very fun. playing with folks in the later half of the year here. And then Pixel Cross Adventure mid-year game here. 100%ed, by the way. Very good Picross game. Now Pixel World of Puzzles is out for you to potentially try. I don't know if we actually care about looking at this, if I'm honest with you. But I will click this. And I guess we can look at it briefly. What are the numbers? Green is sap, puck is purple, red is pixel, orange is that, and then this color is all of the demos. What's blue? Blue is peak. All right, that all checks out. That all checks out. Hey, go back to the presentation, please. Hey, can you go back to big? Thank you. Oh my god, they saw the tabs I had open. Oh, leaked. Not. I do have the 2024 percentages. I think we already saw 30% was controller in 2024. It was also 9 games with 74 sessions in 2024, mainly being Street Fighter 6, 62%, Star Puffs 8%, Robot Detour 7%, Nightmare Kart 2%, Node 2%, and then probably a lot of other demos at 2%, which I imagine is the case here with Aero Machina, of being a lot of, I bet there's a lot of 3% of doing demos. Yeah, I know, the people are wearing Star Puffs. We did never finish it. I also have the numbers for 2023, but we're not going to read them. They're in the notes. 77 demos and 96 sessions. I don't really understand what that means. I can't think of any demo I played more than once. So I don't know why it would be those numbers, but okay. And again, these are probably like, there's probably like 90% of them are at this 2 to 3% range. Which is, I'm not going to read out the 2024. You don't need to see it. This was the streak, longer streak previous. There's the timeline if you want to go look. And this is the overall little summary image. I think that image summarizes a bit of it, though I would say it would be deceiving by not listing like 80 demos. I think that's the one thing that would be, if I truly wanted one image that summarized everything, it would be this, and then one square would be the 80, 90 demos or whatever it was. And these are previous years, so you can get a little difference there. There you go. Now, as you can see, something might look a little off here. Which is the 5. Now, why did I do that? Well, Nintendo wasn't going to release their year-in review information until after the full year, which I agree with and give my my blessings. That feels like not the right. I mean, it's I guess in the spirit, but I agree with that process of waiting for the full year to actually get the full year's information. The problem is, unlike the Twitch year-in review and the Steam year-in review, Nintendo then closes and gets rid of it. So I didn't realize they did that, and I don't have any of the data for it, which is a little awkward. Also awkward because I did gather the Twitch and Steam stuff early. When it basically is like, oh, the one that I didn't do early was the one that deletes. And then the ones that don't delete are the ones I did early. Classic. So, unfortunately, don't have that data to compare with 2024. But, you know, lesson for next time. However, because of having the stream summary images, we did get, you know, you could go back and look, but I basically wrote down all the things that we played anyway. Now, this list isn't comprehensive of everything. It was just a little boom, boom, boom bullets of what I basically was playing through on the Nintendo Switch. And no, I do not have a Switch 2. Switch 2. My personal picks of games that I played, these are them. Though I would say the Star Wars Jedi Power Battles is kind of needs an asterisk because I wouldn't actually recommend someone to play this game. It was more of a, after having played it, there were funny moments of the game breaking, which I guess made it memorable. but it's not a good game. So I wouldn't actually tell you to play it, but yeah. And then Emio the Smiling Man is like not really fair because it was only the very, very end of the game that I played. So I kind of think of that as more of a 2024 game. But I did mention it because it is awesome. Now YouTube, we YouTubing. They sent their information different than the previous year for some reason, but sure. The 2024 was the same video, SpongeBob Caught by Gary, but 192 hours watched. So obviously has faded quite a bit. But whatever. And the top short in 2024 had 329 likes. They didn't do a top short thing in the email. I don't know why. But, you know, there's these numbers. There's these numbers, which are also different from the numbers they gave last year, which would have been better. Like 2024 said, oh, you had this many new subscribers and this many views hours and this many uploads and likes, and they just like didn't do that. So I don't know why they did that, but I can at least get my own numbers from this stuff by looking at the data. And the big spike in July 14th was a YouTube short where it was the I have to report this 8-year-old to Nintendo short. So yeah. This is 2024. Now the reason I have both is you can see there is, well, one thing I want to point out is the top line is the 12.K. So that is still the same reference number. Now one is a little bit more zoomed in than the other. But I would say if you compare this 2025 to the 2024, you can see a lot more individual peaks on, you know, a lot more individual peaks throughout, which to me speaks to a little more of a consistency, I guess. But you can also see the gray down arrow numbers in 2025, which means that 2024 had better watch hours and views and and subscribers. Which, you know, depression. But not really, because in my mind, like, a lot of these came from those 4 big spikes that I'm guessing were like basically all YouTube shorts or something. Whereas this year was like more consistent. Though to be honest with you, maybe all of those individual spikes were individual shorts, as I was putting out more of those on the regular too. So anyway, we don't have to think about that too much. Half the watch time is pretty rough, but whatever. These were the top 10 of 2025 but it's counting videos from all time. As you can see, the SpongeBob one is there, as well as the report this 8-year-old to Nintendo, 17K. So yeah, they are all shorts, except for the SpongeBob one, I guess. Even though that's in spirit a short as well at 16 seconds. So yeah, it would be. I couldn't figure out a way to make this be top 10 of videos that are regular videos and not shorts. So I don't know how to do that, but obviously, when the watch time is short on all the videos that have the highest views, that would make the watch time go down. And this is a comparison to last year. You can see at least one real video, which was the What Beaks Rock video. So that's something, I guess. That's something. And these are, again, this is like, I'm not going to read all this out. Are you crazy? But there was some new videos in the top video views for. Oh, I guess this is the no, this is not, because this has like the short here and this short thing here and whatnot. But still, these are all-time video numbers, top view videos in 2025. Mostly older ones. The end of Emio being a high view count, sorry, that's not view count. This is view count. I mean, it's still more views than the other stuff, but more than I would have thought. Impression versus views. I don't really know what the difference is. I'm sure I could have read it and figured out, but I didn't, so there we are. Yeah, interesting. Seeing something like this being 18,000 but 280, and then this one is 5,000 but 461. Not sure. I don't know what that's all about. Was surprised to see this one getting so many, but yeah, That is what it is. Okay, one of the things that stood out to me, I guess, and as you can see, I did list out which things were new videos versus old ones. The Dead Cell videos having higher view counts was surprising to me. I kind of remember at the time that they had more views than I was expecting, but again, just was surprised. 20 Small Mazes was sick. It was a sick game. Shoutouts to that game. Nothing too crazy to take out from here. Excuse me. Oh, I misspelled purple. Kill him. Kill him? Kill the streamer? How dare he? How dare he do that? 2024 number. Now you can see the difference in the big old spikes here. And as well as kind of shows the consistency of SpongeBob in the 2024 just consistently getting a lot of views, whereas here it like had a spike for some reason in the left. Kind of paints the picture of maybe where all those views came from in 2024. But there you go. Now this is a psycho screen that I put together. Which is just some weird extra stats that I just threw together. There wasn't this in 2024. I don't think I did something like this, but just stuff. Viewers, videos only, watching both, shorts only, viewers that do both or some or one. Typical views for shorts being that range versus videos being that range. These make sense to me. Shorts views obviously being way more than videos. Subscribers coming from videos more than shorts also makes sense to me though. And then shorts feed being most of the traffic and whatnot. And YouTube search. Which means, I think there's supposed to be one that's like, I don't know if this counts the subscribing feature, like other YouTube features. Does that count the subscription box? Hey, check your subscription box, will ya? Anyway. This is a picture. So what does this mean? Well, it means a few things. One, it's the videos published in the year, which as you can see is 367, which is more than the number of days in the year. I had a secret goal of mine that I don't think I specifically said. I think I had said I wanted consistency more, but I didn't specifically say my secret goal was that I wanted at least one video a year, or day, a year, can you imagine? One video a day with at least the weekends being one YouTube short each on the Saturday, Sunday, if not an extra video instead. And I was able to do that. Someday, this was the surprising thing to me. There were only 2 days where I did double videos. Or sorry, 1 day where I did double videos, which was on Christmas Eve. But I think, and I didn't confirm this, but I think there were days that I had a YouTube video plus a YouTube short on the same day a few times. I think maybe a couple. I don't know. Maybe not. I didn't actually math it out. Actually, I guess, yeah, maybe one other day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I did technically do more videos in 2024, but I also had more double days in 2024. That doesn't matter much. But I did do my secret little goal there. So that was cool. I don't know if it necessarily paid off. Not that anything would, but in terms of if it was worth it or not, I don't know. I don't think things lost quality necessarily because of that. Wait, actually, go back here for a second. What did I write down? I think every stat after the videos published stats are just stats from all videos on the... Okay, whatever. These are some Twitch stats using these websites. I've done them last year previously. Now, something about these sites is they're kind of a little funky. They don't always kind of match up. For example, this says 198 streams in the top right. But do I really have the Nintendo Wii Jop Music, the most generic streamer? Anyway, I didn't choose that. It came up. The bottom right says 202 streams, which is not 198 streams. So I still don't understand why that does that. But 20 peak viewers. I mean, you can read 20 peak viewers. 845. I will say the numbers for 2024 were 213 streams / 216 streams. Still don't know why that was the case. 4 average viewers again. 3,869 hours streamed or hours watched in 2024. 60 followers gained in 2024, 29 peak viewers in 2024, and 902 hours streamed in 2024. These numbers, did I compare? No. I have it written down though. 62, 869, 5, 4.2, 361 active days. So, more days active. As you can see, there's some blank spots here when I was just not able to stream. So that's why I didn't end here as well. But I did still keep in mind, I did still keep up the YouTube every day. So that took extra work to make that happen. Now this one was interesting and also very confusing because I think something had to have glitched. I did not do one 25-hour stream. I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't know. I don't know what that could possibly have came from, but I definitely didn't do that. So I don't know. In 2024, I had 6 2-hour streams, 11 3-hour streams, 64 4-hour streams, 131 5-hour streams, and 4 6-hour streams, and 2 9-hour streams. So a little bit of a difference because for 2025, which is the graph you're looking at, this was 1 1-hour, 3 2 hours, 3 3 hours, 74 hours, 115 5 hours, 6 6 hours, 1 7-hour, 1 8-hour, 1 hour, and one. But now the 25, that can't be right, so I don't trust any of it. I also have the 2023 numbers, but I'm not gonna say them. I apparently didn't fill in this table, so there you go. I don't know how that happened, but there you go. That one, that table has been missed. Although it does show the previous years, so there is that. You can kind of compare the numbers I said out loud. They're predicting I'm gonna have a 25-hour stream. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. 2024 numbers here were just chatting is 190, pad is 180, and sap is 97.5. So those have, when just chatting, kind of nailed that number, huh? But the 1 and the 3 definitely changed a lot. Puck being 42 may be part of that. Percentage wise, pretty similar. I don't think I wrote it down, but I could pick up the link to look. Again, this is now the 10 through 20. You can just see some of the games that had a little more time in them, or Jigsaw Puzzle, one very long stream. Those are some circles, just some pie charts. This is the, okay, I don't have the other image. This just kind of shows. The problem with this is that it's UTC, so a lot of it'll look like I've streamed like every day for so long, but it's really because it's counting the beginning of the stream as one day and the end of the stream as another day because of how how time works. So it'll be like, oh, you did Tuesday into, you know, whatever. I just said it out loud. Calendar dates are UTC, so it kind of screws it up where it makes it look like I'm streaming more days than I was. These were the longest streams. Unsurprisingly, this was a puzzle stream. I think, oh, this is a perfect example. You can see that this says 2024 and 2025. So this was because, again, this is UTC, so it counts that last stream of 2024 as part of 2025. So, you know, this isn't actually legal. That's an illegal long stream. That doesn't count. And most of these otherwise were just, you could tell the Dead Cells, I was doing extra time to try to beat it in time. That's why there's 3 Dead Cell ones there. Otherwise, just some gaming. Some gaming. Highest views? Not too interesting. Funny that 20 Small Mazes? 20 Small Mazes ended up also having highest max view on the stream. People want mazes? People want more mazes? Is that what people want? Perhaps it is. But yeah, mostly pad because people come to the stream. Me, when the chatter says, oh my god, why do you even stream pad on Mondays? It's so lame. Me, when I show the image that is almost all of the most viewed streams of the year being pad streams. Just saying. Technically, I'm ranked worse than last year. I think last year technically it was 190,481. Whatever. Who cares? Favorite game. Now we're talking favorite games of the year, not released but played. I have to put Puck there simply because I played it a lot, and I do think it's a great game. Peak, obviously great. Advance Wars Reboot Camp, I would not say is for everyone, but I am glad I played the first campaign. At some point, we'll probably do the second one. Pixel Cross Adventure. I mean, and then these are kind of listing some of the other games that I played a little bit here. Not a ton of full game playthroughs. A lot of demos, but you know, Monument, a lot of the reoccurring events, whether it's T99 or an NSO or Endless Ocean. Demos now, though, we're talking. Also, many more. But everyone already knows Dispatch is great, but I knew Dispatch was going to be good before it was good. Tie my hair in a bun because hipster. Is that even a thing people reference anymore? Cinecross, which is probably going to be the 2026 like top game of the year, foreshadowing for me. Demo was great. Now it's out, and I have it, and I've been playing it, and it's great. Windswept, really good demo. Platformer, very fun. It's just good, and it's a cute duck and turtle. What else do you need? Mina the Hollower, if you don't know, then you don't know. But also, cool old GB style. And then, you know, a bunch of other demos that were all great. I don't know if I'd be able to choose one singular game as best game of the year, because they were all such different experiences. Like Peak, oh, multiplayer fun and whatnot. But that is definitely up there. Puck was an experience. Pixel Cross, always good. 2025 plans, looking back. So these are not my plans for 2026, but these are what we wrote last year. And by we, I mean me, and then you sat here and watched me say it. You know, we definitely stopped playing Star Puffs. We did not do that. Mario Month, we also kind of didn't do. And yes, it is March. Are we doing a Mario Month? Probably not. Fellas, probably not. But maybe we can do a singular stream where we do some Mario stuff, perhaps. Wood carving, I did do that. Puzzle 1 stream guaranteed, I did do that. Return of Unity game jams, not really. I did like maybe one Unity game jam game. And these two also did not really happen. But I did keep the one weekday thing going, so there's that. Now, 2026, we're looking forward. Cinecross, all difficulties, all classes, and I haven't mentioned this yet, but potentially speedruns? Are we gonna have a speedrun arc, perhaps? It could happen. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, I think, is definitely gonna happen. I don't know how long that game is, but maybe. There will definitely be another puzzle stream at some point in the year, if not more than once. And then I do want to get through Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, now that I have that. Speedrun arc, he's going non-verbal. And obviously there's other things, but I don't want to throw too much and have too much, because, you know, someone in chat gifted me Celeste, for example. Maybe I do that, maybe I don't. Now, if you let me clear my throat. Okay. Clip will be after, but I do want to give a proper, real thank you for hanging out, whether it's on YouTube or it's on Twitch. He's showing his face. You know, I'm a little guy. We're little guys here. Great song to have the ending be here, by the way. National Park, Gold, Silver, Crystal, great song. I do appreciate everyone that hangs out, whether it's clipping, just hanging out in chat, lurking, watching on YouTube, and everything in between. In Discord or wherever. I don't know. I don't want to end on a sad note, but I'm not going to. But I will just say there are thoughts in my mind about my situation. But who knows? I don't know. What I will say, and I don't think I said this in the 2026 plans, is I don't know if I'm locking in the whole one YouTube video every day plus, or weekdays plus either YouTube shorts or videos on the weekends. I don't know if I'm locking that in for 2026. I have kept it going though so far. So who knows, maybe. But I do appreciate everyone for their support vocally or otherwise. And I hope that you've got some level of enjoyment from the streams or videos, or whatever else. Reddit and Discord, and you know what? I should change that. I gotta add Blue Sky. We can't be in Twitter. Come on. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I will. What I can promise is that next year I won't be doing the year in review in March. I'll be doing it before then for next time. Okay? So I will 100%. You can yell at me if I don't. Okay? So thank you.